Good evening, Nocturnals. I'm back again with another speed paint. But this time I challenged myself to redraw my beautiful magical OC right here into my anti-art style. Basically, the opposite of how I usually draw and paint. I just discovered and became comfortable with my art style just a year ago, and now I'm breaking it. I don't know how I feel about that. While I'm still drawing it in my art style, I'd like to talk about my beautiful OC right here. I don't have a set name for her just yet. I want to name her that symbolizes something, so I'll think about it later. But her species are called Diwata. It's like a fairy and an elf at the same time. It comes from Philippine mythology, but I have my own twist and version and just slapped the same name to it, so. I remember that I created her whole design when I was 13, and it all started in a public-ish water park. Yes, a water park. I was very inspired because I like swimming in pools and water parks. I never get that chance anymore, and it's now ruined for me knowing that it's all chemicals and you don't know what other liquids in there. Kids can't control their bladder. Here's the watercolor I did back then. I actually messed up coloring the skin. I mixed the colors wrong and made it darker than what I imagined, but now I thought it looked very fitting and I actually liked it more. I also redrew it a few years later for my art class in gouache and watercolor, but looking at her, she's not really the same character now, isn't she? Her hair is dark brown and she's not an elf. I don't know why I did that. So back to the story. While I was walking on the very shallow part of the pool, there's a water kiddie playground located in the middle. I was walking very slowly, like outside, yeah, listening to the water falling in the background, and the children's laughter turned into ambiance to me. And the idea popped into my head, just like that. I need to draw someone walking on shallow water. And it must be very magical, because that's what I felt at the time. Honestly, I would love to have that kind of imagination again. Everything just sucks now, you know? As you grow older and everything becomes so depressing and you become so cynical about all the smallest things. Anywho, I asked my Instagram followers how they describe my art style, and they could say as much as they like, and apparently only 3 responded, saying, painting like, cat face, your shading looks like it's painted. Lastly, painty, and smiley face. I don't know why, but I don't know why, like, are my characters smiling too much? Or is that a personal comment or something? I don't know. Thank you so much for the responses. I had you 3 say the exact same descriptions, but that's to be expected because I'm a dead account. And Instagram doesn't care about pictures anymore, and apparently they are turning into a video sharing app now. So I took it upon myself to list things about what I think about my art style. First off, as my friend stated, it looks painted. I can see why. And these are the things I added. It is very saturated and bright, has barely any line arts, and anime art style. And very detailed as well. Okay, let me elaborate in each one of them. Painted style of coloring. I can definitely see where people get that idea, because I feel like I am going towards that path, and I'm not complaining. But what's interesting, it looks like an acrylic way of painting, right? And I've definitely painted acrylic before, but the difference is Digital art is way less messier, and I like it more than acrylic. From what I can remember, I only legitimately painted 5 acrylic paintings, 2 of them on canvases, and the rest for smaller artworks. I never thought I'd gravitate towards that coloring style when I've used more watercolors for everything, to be honest. But I'm honestly okay with it, I'm loving it. Next one, saturated and bright. Now I gotta admit, I love experimenting with colors, but sometimes it gets out of hand and always ends up piercing my eyes because I thought it doesn't look like the color pops enough, or it doesn't look like it's blending the way I wanted it to. So I tend to amp everything up and burn my eyes. This is something I wish to work on more because I'm honestly struggling. Saturated colors to me are becoming more and more, I don't know, unpleasant, uninteresting, and too much for my liking. So something I want to achieve and improve more in art is to blend in with less saturation, but not too less that it becomes monotone but feels more soft and soothing. Thirdly, it has barely any line art. Now I have a reason why I despise line art in digital art, but not in traditional. Unlike in traditional, where I can feel the paper and how much pressure I put on the pen, the way I slowly move my pen across the paper, it's a very satisfying feeling. However, in digital art, I can't control my strokes no matter how much I want to, and it results in me abusing my Control plus Z button from how many tries I do. It becomes so tedious and time consuming on making strokes rather than actually coloring my artwork, and I hated everything about it. Plus, when I don't realize I'm pressing too hard, my pen scratches, like makes those scratchy noises on my drawing tablet. Lastly, my art style looks anime. I have loved anime since I was a toddler. That's what got me into love visual arts and animation in the first place. So I have always imitated this way of style, though it's hard to put anime in a specific drawing style, you know? Like there's overly cute style of magical shoujo, majestic masterpieces of kyo-ani, major respect, the classic anime style like Ranma One Half, first kid-friendly anime I watched when I was 7 on a local TV, terribly dubbed by the way. Great times. And whatever this is, I really believe you can't put anime in one art style because it all depends on the OG mangaka or the studio, if it's 2D or 3D, and I could talk about this all day and geek about it, but let's do that another time. When I started drawing the anti-art style, I feel so conflicted. I didn't know where to start because I'll be out of my comfort zone. And as you can see here, I tried to make it look more cartoonish, and I grudgingly did the line arts. And I'm kinda looking at Lavender Town for inspiration for her characters, but overall, I wasn't vibing with it, and I restarted drawing. The second try was more freestyle and adding features I like in characters, like I like big expressive eyes. I also made her hands unproportionate to everything because I once saw it from another artist and thought it looked really nice, but I may not have executed it the way I wanted to, and I don't know, I kinda regret it. The line art, my hand was straining after that. It always makes me tense up because I want it to look perfect. I'm a perfectionist, and it's if you've seen my older arts, it takes so much time. When my stylus broke, we bought another drawing tablet because the first one was the cheapest and the smallest tablet you'll ever see out there, and it is so small your hand will definitely cramp up. And the new drawing tablet, paired with my crappy PC, won't let you use the pen pressure. And one of the most important things you need to have to draw line arts is the pen pressure. So that stressed me out a lot, and I kinda gave up drawing digitally for a while. I tried to find ways to use digital art without using pen pressure, and that was the beginning of painted light coloring. So I wanted to give cel shading a chance again for this drawing, but it's been 2 years or so now and I can't remember the specific techniques I used to make it look decent. But while I was coloring, I just ditched relearning those techniques and just made a bunch of things. And now looking at it through editing, I didn't really desaturate my anti-art styles colors like what I was supposed to do, since it is an opposite art style. It still looks like it could burn your eyes out. So as I said, I need to work on that. So if it looks like I didn't make enough efforts, you're 100% right. I was already late uploading this video, and I'm speeding through things up a bit and cramming. So there you have it. I drew this artwork in my opposite art style. Did I enjoy it? Absolutely, maybe. But I like experimenting with art, so that was truly a challenge. And if you notice anything, my art time-lapse are no longer very laggy. I finally figured out what was wrong with my OBS, and that's the end of that. Let's enjoy more smooth sailing. And I realized that I have talked through all the way through the end of the video, so it's a first. So if you want to suggest characters for me to draw, just comment it down below. And I hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to join the Nocturnal Parliament, and ring that notification bell so you'll know when I upload another video. So until next time, I will see you later.